हाय गाइस एंड वेलकम बैक टू कॉलेज दुनिया स्टडी अब्रॉड। आज हम जिस कैंडिडेट से बात करने वाले हैं उनका नाम है प्रवीण। ही इज परस्यूइंग हिज पीएचडी डिग्री इन द यूएस फ्रॉम ऑबर्न यूनिवर्सिटी। उनसे काफी इंटरेस्टिंग और काफी डिटेल्ड कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ है, सो मेक श्योर यू स्टे ट्यून्ड till the end. But before we move forward, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. If you have any questions related to studying abroad, click on the first link in our description box. वहाँ पे अपने basic details भरिए and हमारे counselors आपको 48 से 72 hours में जरूर reach out करेंगे. We also have two very interesting offerings. First, the visa guarantee package and the offer letter guarantee package. So make sure you check them out as well. Now, let's move forward in our video. Hi Praveen, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fine. Praveen, before we move forward, can you do a small introduction of for our viewers?
Yeah, sure. My name is Pravin, and I am a graduate student in Auburn University, Alabama. So it's located in the southeastern part of the United States. So currently located in my apartments. I started my graduate school here in fall 2020, that is August 2020, and this is my third year. So I am currently working in area called polymer membranes, where we study the transport properties of these membranes. And my courses, I am doing this PhD in chemical engineering, and prior to my PhD program I was pursuing my master's degree in the US as well, and I did my master's in University of Southern California, and I graduated in May 2020. And yeah, this is my brief background. And yeah,
can you tell me something about University of Southern California first? What did you do? Like, which course did you pursue in your master's from that university? What all courses does Southern University of California offers?
Yeah, definitely. So I did my master's in chemical engineering there from August 2018 to May 2020. My master's was in chemical engineering, and then there are a lot of courses. So I could see students take engineering courses there a lot, especially students from India and China. They take engineering courses a lot, such as computer science, then like AI, data science, and those courses. And then we can also see people taking civil engineering, and then engineering management. So I have seen students from universities such as Northeastern University transferring to the University of Southern California for engineering management course, and they said that the course here is way better than the other university which was offering the same course. So like there are a lot of courses, and apart from engineering there are many other schools where many other courses are offered as well, like business school where MBA courses are offered, and then there is law school where like courses are related to law, and then there are arts and science where there are a lot of various courses are offered. And like but most of the Indian students who come to the University of Southern California, they enroll into engineering courses. So yeah.
Okay, so now I have one question, and I will totally agree. We also see the data points that a lot of Indian students who are going to US, they want to pursue something within the engineering segment, right? A master's degree from US, a PhD degree from US. So yeah.
Prior to coming to the US, I was from Chennai. Okay. And then I did my school in Chennai, and then after my schooling I went to undergrad degree for BTech in chemical engineering, and that was in Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham in Coimbatore, that is like outskirts of Coimbatore on the way to Palakkad. So that's where I spent my 4 years, and then after that I could see like there are a lot of opportunities in when you pursue studies in abroad, and like your mindset and your way of thinking and your character, everything changes as you come and see people from abroad. Like you can learn a lot of good things from these people, and then you can also learn what to do, what not to do, and you will be independent. So I thought, okay, so let's come for higher studies to the US and see how it is actually is. So I came for higher studies immediately after my BTech degree. So
tell me something. Did University of Southern California, did you guys have a lot of Indians around you? And were there a lot of Indian students in your batch? And same for the Auburn University as well.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So in University of Southern California, it's like literally like Indian and Chinese students are the majority of the engineering degree. So like they form like at least like more than a half, or I would say like 3/4 of the student population in the engineering school in the university. So I won't say that there is like not many Indian students around me. So there were a lot of students, and they were pursuing various engineering degrees. And also like outside the engineering school, I could see like some students pursuing like I could see one Indian student pursuing law as her degree, and then one student pursuing like some degree in arts, and like one student was pursuing his Ph.D. in chemistry. So there were a lot of students, and like, but I could also see some students from other branches of study as well from India. So I couldn't say that there is not many Indian students. So like you will find many students, and like at least some people from your state and from what language you speak, so you would feel very comfortable when you are there in California. And in my current university, Auburn University, here also I could see Indian students, but one thing I could see is the diversity of students. So I could also see like diverse population of students here, not only from India and China, but other countries as well. So you could see people from very small countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan, and then Ghana, and like very many different countries. You could see students, and like this is the first time I'm seeing people from those countries. So the diversity of students is relatively higher here. That I think that is because the ease of getting scholarship here. So my current university, that is the Auburn University, is a public university where we get scholarships easily. Like we don't need to pay tuition fees for a lot of courses, especially for PhD courses and masters in thesis. So that is a good option for people to come study abroad with relatively no education loan in themselves. So they get scholarships, so they don't have the burden of education loan. So yeah, like that's why I think like lot of people from various countries come to like public universities such as this to pursue their education. Yeah, there are a lot of students from India and other countries. So
let's talk about your course now. So you pursued your masters from Southern California, right? And you're pursuing your PhD doctoral degree from Auburn University now. So why only these two choices? I mean, why did you not go for something else in the US?
Yeah,
and why
actually,
did you actually choose these two programs from US only? You could have also done it from good colleges in India. Let's say you could have easily gotten into IITs or something like that, right?
Yeah, but that's a good question. So, when I was thinking of doing my higher studies, I was like researching various options, and uh, one thing I would say that I would have done more than what I have done, was when I was researching for options for masters or for higher studies, I didn't stress more about the scholarships options. So I came to the University of Southern California with um, a, a coursework degree where I have to pay the tuition fees by myself. So that was like taking a toll or an impact on my financial situation as well. So uh, I didn't research properly into the scholarship options when I came to the University of Southern California. But after that, I thought, okay, so for my PhD, which was my ultimate goal, so there is obviously scholarships for PhD. That is, most of the universities offer scholarships. So I thought, okay, so I will email professors from various universities and then see who is interested, who is really interested in my profile. So the professor or my advisor, who is currently working at Auburn University, he was interested in hiring me as a PhD student. So I thought, okay, so I also was interested into his research work as well. So I was interested and I applied, and he selected me as a student. So regarding scholarships, I would say just research properly and speak with the students who studied over there, and come for a master's degree with the coursework if you have a good prospects of job. Otherwise, you can choose a course or a university which offers good scholarship, so that you won't be stuck in a education loan or a financial burden. Yeah.
So now let's talk about the fees, the expenses that you've incurred up until now. Let's first touch upon the topic, which is the course fee. Let's first cover the University of Southern California, the course name and the fees that you incurred during the whole program, and then let's talk about the Auburn University as well. Okay. Can you maybe shed some light on that?
Yes, sure. When I was my master's student in University of Southern California, the fees I paid was it was really expensive. So it was around $2,005 exactly for my first year of master's per unit. So basically, I have to take 9 units of coursework per semester. So you can multiply and see 2005 into 9, it's 18,045 or something. So it's a huge tuition fees, and then apart from that, I had living expenses and other expenses as well. So different universities have different semester system as well. So some universities have a quarterly system where they divide the year into 4 quarters, not as 2 semesters as I had. So I know there's universities like University of California Irvine, where they have 4 quarters. So yeah, different universities have different system, but my current university, Auburn University, also has semester system. So yeah, it depends upon the university. So yeah. Regarding the tuition fees in the University of Southern California, it was 8 to 9 units I have to take. So it should be 16,000 to 18,000 per semester. So for 4 semesters, it was around $60,000 as a tuition fee. So that should be the same for other courses as well. but there are courses such as computer science, data science, and artificial intelligence and engineering management. Those courses have good job prospects after you do your degree at University of Southern California. So you will get a job which pays you like at least $100,000 per annum, which will enable you to repay this education loan within a year. So try to go for courses which offers you good job prospects. Like even if the university is good, it doesn't mean that there is like good job prospects. So
Yes.
and also if there is pandemic like the COVID, then everything gets a hit, and even the native people don't get good job opportunities. So how would they hire us?
Right. I guess so. Your point is, by the end of the day, you also need to look upon the ROI that you are going to get by the end of the day, right? Whatever you are investing, and because it's probably in most cases people do take education loan. So at the end of the day, you'll have to pay that education loan as well. So it also matters about the ROI, right? That's a very great insight from you, Pravin. So as you mentioned such big figures about your education, so like during your master's in University of Southern California, did you also take any education loan or something? Did you go for loans, or who sponsored your studies?
Yes, obviously I took education loan. Like I took it from Bank of Baroda for like the interest rates were I think it was lower that time. It was like around 8.6%, but still it is higher. So I'm trying to repay with whatever savings I get during my Ph.D. degree, and then as like in soon I will get a job after this degree, so it will help me to repay these loans as soon as possible.
Perfect. So how tricky is this process of education loan? Like how difficult is it for a student to get education loan? Are there some important factors that you would want to share with the audience that keep this in mind or that in mind while you go for the education loan?
Yes, so first of all, like try to get a scholarship as much as possible. If you don't get scholarship, then think about education loan. So if you get an education loan, try to get from banks such as SBI or Bank of Baroda, like public banks in India, or otherwise like if depending upon your situation, like you will get a without collateral or with the collateral. So there are a lot of education loan options. So depending upon your situation, you would have to assess, and then like you have to go forward with education loan from an institution of interest. So
but adding to the point, I guess it's not very easy to go and take education loan from these public banks, right? Sometimes people also try and approach NBFCs or private banks for that matter as well.
Initially I approached public banks, but their response was not too good. Like they weren't giving good responses when I approached the manager of the bank. So I researched online, and I could see like there are some startups which are funded by Government of India, and one such startup helped me to get education loan. So I filled the application form, and they were researching various banks for me, and they chose a particular like Bank of Baroda or SBI to be a suitable financial institution for my education loan. So they took care of my application process, and like within a couple of weeks I was able to get approved of my education loan. So like nowadays this process is made easy by like some startups which are funded by Indian government. So
regarding the education loan, if I could ask you, what was the time period of the education loan that you took for the University of Southern California?
So the time period, I would say that So I took for 180 months, so that is 15
Okay.
years, but I am pretty sure that I would repay within uh, within 2 or 3 years after. Like I would I would soon graduate with my degree in 2024, and within a year after I get my degree I would be working, and with those salary and my current salary in my PhD program I could repay within uh, mid 2025. So it won't take that many years for me to repay. So but in in the worst case I was thinking, so I just applied for 15 years of repayment period. So yeah, but once you get a job you would be able to repay the loan within an year.
Perfect. I guess now that we have covered a lot about University of Southern California, let's also shed some light. Maybe you shed some light about the University of Auburn, Auburn University
Auburn
as well.
University.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what is the tuition cost for you at Auburn University? Are you actually incurring anything, or do you have some scholarship? If you are under some scholarship, maybe tell us something about that particular scholarship and some of the other scholarships as well.
Yes, sure. So in Auburn University, I am covered with 100% of tuition fees. So I don't have to pay any tuition fees for any courses I take.
That's a very nice thing. Congratulations.
Thank you. And but I only have to pay semester fees, which should be $1,300 per semester. So there's, as I said, there are 2 semesters, and there is one summer mini semester. So there are 3 semesters. So for fall, or I mean from August to December, I have to pay $1,300, and from January to in May I have to pay another 1,300 as semester fees, which consists of insurance, that is the health insurance cost, and then the administrative cost, and then the costs for recreation centers, which we call gym, and then the swimming pool and other things which we can access in this university. So for maintaining these, they charge us money, and then those things are covered by this fees. And then for the summer mini semester, I would say I paid $600. So per year I pay around $3,000 as college fees, but quite lesser than my my monthly salary, which is I get around $2,000 per month as a PhD student. So I can easily repay back this semester fees. So that's not a big problem.
Okay. That's
apart from that,
very nice.
everything else tuition fees and other things are sponsored for me, so I don't have to pay anything.
Right. Interesting. So now that you are studying in Auburn University, where are you currently living, and what's your living cost and survival cost in US?
So this I chose this university because the cost of living is also very less, and then the salary which they give for PhD students is comparable to other major cities, such as which are located in California, New York, where even there the students get the same or almost similar amount of money, but their living expenses would be way higher. But here the living expenses are way lower, and then the monthly salary which we receive is also pretty higher. And also my research areas, what I wanted to do is what some of the professors are doing here. So I came here. And regarding my living expenses, so monthly rent should be ranging from anywhere between $300 to $600, depending upon the apartment or the housing situation where you are living. wanted to live. So if you want a roommate, like if you want to live with roommates, then you would be paying like $300 to $400. And if you are staying in an individual house, like what I am staying right now, it's like slightly higher, that is $450 per month. But there are other posh apartments as well with they have lot of amenities, and like depending upon your preference, these apartments have like slightly higher rent. So those range between $500 to $600 per month here. So it's at the end of the day, it's your preference. So if you wanted to save more money, you can stay with roommates, and like you can pay less. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So now that you mentioned that that some of the professors were researching on the same thing that you were doing. So my question is, what are you currently researching upon, and what's your research topic?
So like my research work is related to membranes. So you can find like membranes in like reverse osmosis plants and desalination of seawater. Those kind of applications use membranes a lot. So there are other applications as well where we can use membranes to separate various products like from industries, like where you can see industries produce lot of carbon dioxide and other emissions. So my work can be like using these gases such as carbon dioxide to produce fuels, and the produced fuels like those can be used as chemicals for other applications as well. For that to be used, we need membranes to separate these products from the mixture so that we can use it for various applications. So I am working on the membrane part of the work, where I can enable the separation of these components or the chemicals formed from carbon dioxide gas, so that we can utilize these chemicals after their separation for various applications. Like we can do this because like if we do this, we would not rely more upon petrol or crude oil, where we generally use crude oil for manufacturing chemicals. But if we can reduce carbon dioxide gas to various chemicals, we don't need to rely more on crude oil, so that everything is good. Like it is good for everyone, where we can rely less on crude oil. And like nowadays, like climate change is a big concern, so like extracting out crude oil is also problematic, where we need to take the crude oil, and that impacts the earth, and also like we also emit lot of carbon dioxide. And utilizing these kind of greenhouse gases for producing chemicals is like a good idea. So like I was interested to know and work more on this, so I started to work with my advisor. So yeah, this is my research. And like for the membrane part, I work on the fundamental understanding of how the membranes can separate these products, so that we can utilize them for various applications.
Very nice. That's very excellent. Let's say if some of our viewers, or if any of our viewers who would want to go abroad and study something like you are studying right now, or maybe would want to pursue masters from some university in the US, so how should they approach this whole process? What is the admission process that follows right from India to US? Something in very brief that you can tell me about.
So application process, like I understand, like initially it could be difficult. So yeah, I would suggest the students to do their own research. Like they can find what they are interested upon. So doesn't need to be the same kind of degree which they pursued in their undergrad, so they can do some other coursework as well. Like suppose if we are pursuing computer science in undergrad, it doesn't have to be the same computer science in masters or higher studies, so they can pursue something else which they are interested. So first they can research upon the coursework which they are interested, and then after that, depending upon they can see which universities offer scholarship options and like teaching assistantship and research assistantship options. So like as you get these opportunities, you tend to work with professors and other students, so that counts as a good experience where you collaborate with various people and work, so that it will be helpful for you to work in a full-time job in future. Like after researching the university and like then after researching about the scholarship and other teaching research assistantship options, like try emailing the professors about the teaching and research assistantship options, as they are like the good people, like they are the right person to guide you regarding the same. So for that, there is like I would say there is a email etiquette, or like how there is a thing called like how we have to email properly to professors. So we need to, like there are a lot of YouTube videos which mentions about how to email professors like professionally and like with good communication, so that the chances of getting reply from them is higher. So ensure that you email professionally, so that the professor would get convinced about our abilities and they would hire us for any scholarship or assistantship options. So after getting the assistantship, it would be very easy for you to be financially stable, and you can study and you can also like do your responsibilities, so that like it will be like you will save money, and then that can be helpful for you. So like yeah, so after this emailing the professor and figuring out the university, then you can start with your SOP, that is the statement of purpose, where you need to write out the motivation behind what you are interested to do, and then send that to the professor who responded to you as well. And then there is another document called LOR, that is called as letter of recommendation, where you need to approach some couple of people, especially professors or people from industry where you might have worked after your undergrad. So you can approach these people and like ask them to recommend you as an ideal candidate for the masters or the higher studies. So after this SOP and LOR, you need to also take the standardized tests. So right now, I think nowadays they don't give too much emphasis on GRE. They should be giving emphasis on TOEFL or IELTS even now as well. So like prepare for the same. Like you can watch a lot of English news, and then like it will improve your listening skills. And also like there are a lot of TOEFL books, so you can purchase the ETS TOEFL book, and then they might have exercises for speaking and other necessary skills which you need to develop for the TOEFL test and for your studies here. So it should be really helpful for you. And like after taking this standardized tests and after fulfilling everything which I mentioned previously, so I think these things should be good for you to apply for schools in US. So yeah.
Perfect. Did you give TOEFL or did you give IELTS while you were going out?
When I came, like I gave GRE and TOEFL. I didn't give IELTS. Yeah.
Okay. How much did you score if you can maybe share it with us?
Yeah. So
and also What's the minimum acceptance about these two exams, about the GRE? What's the minimum score that a candidate should be scoring?
So like the minimum score candidate should be scoring, like it depends on like the university. Some universities accept a TOEFL score of 90 or above for 120, but some universities which are relatively competitive, they would accept scores only at or above 100 or 103 something. So like it depends on the university and like
Okay.
so yeah, like when I took GRE, I scored 313 out of 340, and then TOEFL I scored 95 out of 120. So like the one thing I scored lesser in like TOEFL was I think listening, where I have to listen to various English conversations and answer the questions which were followed. But I scored only, I think, 23 out of 30 for the listening. So apart from that, others speaking, writing, and the other tasks, I was able to score about 25 out of 30. So yeah.
Perfect. So now, after you are done with your exams, after you're also done with your LORs, SOPs, and everything, I guess comes a very important point, which is the visa process. Now,
Yeah.
I know, and this is for our viewers as well. If you compare US with other countries, like let's compare it to Canada. Canada, the visa process is still pretty easy to get, right? But
Yeah.
what's about US, and how does the visa process look? And what were the challenges that you faced while the visa process?
So yeah, that's a good question. So once you do all this process, email professor and do the SOP, LOR, everything, and then once after you finish your application, where you have to apply online in their web portal. So after that, they will have a couple of weeks. They will take couple of weeks time, and then after that they will give you an admit decision. So once you are selected for a particular university, they would ask you if you are interested to accept the offer or deny the offer. So you can accept the offer, and if you accept the offer, then they would start with the other procedures, like where they would ship the I-20 from the US to your residence. So once you receive the I-20, where the I-20 is a document which specifies the scholarship amount or the tuition fees amount which is to be paid by you, and then also the contact details of the international student office, where you need to approach if you have any questions about visa and other immigration process. So once you get the I-20 from the university, you need to apply for the visa. So for that, there is a website, I think that is run by USCIS. So you need to apply, and like first you need to fill a form called DS 160 or something, and then after that you need to also fill the visa application in their website, and you need to also pay some money for this. So after doing all these process, like they will ask you to schedule an appointment time for biometric fingerprinting and then the visa interview. So for biometric fingerprinting, like there will be a separate office which is outside the US consulate, where you go. They will check for all the background details of you, and then they will verify you are the same candidate which was there in the application. And then after completing the biometric, you can like schedule a visa interview in one of the consulates all over India. So like during that visa interview, like uh, you you need to stand in long long queue. So at least when I was going for visa entry, I was standing in a long queue for so many hours early morning. So yeah, but one like a struggle which I might have faced was like consulate is like literally it's part of the US, even though it is in Indian territory, it's a part of the US. So we like there is strictly no soliciting, or we can't like roam around the place without any visa appointment or something. So that is like not advisable. So once I just went there, like I just before few days before the visa entry, I wanted to go and see the consulate. So I took a bus and went to the consulate, and I was walking by and I was seeing the consulate. So one of the security officer was staring at me and asking, why are you looking at the consulate, what are you going to do? So it's not advisable to like go to the consulate or like be around the consulate without any appointment. So yeah, apart from that, the consulate campus also has like the US Education Center library, where there are a lot of like books and lot of information resources about the US study abroad. And then there are a lot of counselors or officers who can guide you regarding the application process and the study abroad process. So I would recommend to utilize the library and the help of counselors who can guide you with the visa process and the study abroad process, everything. So you can ask them any questions you have. So
Right.
yeah.
Like one of us, we also have a lot of counselors with us who can help you with your process of studying abroad, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was just a small plug-in of ours. Right. So that's so this whole admission process, this whole visa process, what does the timeline look like if you wanna suggest a candidate and you should start preparing for this whole process like itne months pehle? What would you recommend them? Like, how long is this whole process, and what is the ideal timeline that everybody should follow for US?
I think like if you are really interested to pursue studies abroad, you can start at least from 1.5 years prior to the start date of your potential study abroad program. So if suppose you are planning to study abroad from January of 2024, I would suggest you start the process right now, so that you have like more than a year to like figure out which university is suitable for you and which program from that university is like suitable, and then like to research about scholarships options, and then like email the professors over there so that they would suggest you to take a particular scholarship option or like particular program or whatever which suits your interest. So I would say like start at least a year and a half, like
yeah. So that's the buffer period that everybody should be looking out for, whoever is planning to go out to the US and pursue their studies. I have one more question about the visa process. Do you have any idea about the factors due to which a lot of visas get rejected?
I think like I have when I was there in the consulate on the visa interview day, even I saw a visa rejection just a few people before me. So one of them, I think they were rejected because like they were rejected on the grounds of some 221G or something, which might be I'm not sure, but which might be because of the course which they have taken, which might not have been a good uh, or a safe course which they might think about. Like, I mean, the consulate officers might think about. So for example, if a person takes aerospace engineering, then the consulate officer might think that he or like the particular student might be a potential threat to the United States, because the aerospace engineering also involves studies about weapons or missiles, something like that. So it all depends on how you convince the officer about your interest in really studying that, and that proving to them that you are just coming here to study by showing your achievements or other credentials, and then showing some document like an achievement or something like that, where you were really interested in pursuing that program, but you are not going to be a potential threat for their country. And then I think one more thing which might cause rejection in the visa is the university which you choose, or and then the financial options as well. So if you are not able to get into a good university or a decent university in the US, and also if you are unable to pay finance either by yourself or by scholarship options, so if you are unable to prove that you can pay the tuition fees either by scholarship or by yourself, then that might also be a cause in the visa rejection. So I think these are the two reasons, the main reasons which might cause in the delay or the rejection in the visa process. So I would suggest that if you are taking some potentially threatening or some potentially risky course, then try to convince the visa officer that our sole purpose is to just study and to learn more about the course and work with the professor and other students to gain knowledge, and then also prove them that you have education loan or scholarship, so that you are financially stable for the whole duration of the study, and then you won't be facing any difficulties in paying the tuition fees.
Right. Great. That was a very great insight from you. So now that you've touched upon the topic, which is the repayment or the payment of the finances, right? I want to quickly ask about the future opportunities or the placement opportunities that you have or you had in University of Southern California, right? And in Auburn University as well. So let's first talk about University of Southern California. What was the future opportunity for you over there, or what can Indian students can expect out of that university? And does that university provide any placement options or not?
So regarding career prospects after our degree, so in University of Southern California, there is no placement options set up by the university, but the university organizes career fairs every semester, where there are a lot of companies though they come and set up their stalls in the university campus, and then they are ready to speak with students about their company, and then they are ready to conduct interviews to students so that they can select the potential candidate for their company as well. So there are career fairs and other resources which are given by the university, where the University Career Center organizes mock interviews where students can get a chance of getting uh, getting a real face of how the interviews actually look like by attending mock interviews organized by this career center people. And then they also help us uh, into modifying our resume, and then like they would help us with the interview process and the resume and the other application process with whatever questions we have, so that we are successful in our career. So like each and every university has this career center, so I would say like utilize this career center, and then ask them questions about how to approach in a career fair. And then like try to network with these career center people, and then also like attend the career fairs, so that it would be like helpful for you to network with lot of employers around. And then try to utilize LinkedIn and other social network platforms where you can network with lot of people, so that you will land in a job. And and then regarding the career prospects, again, like in University of Southern California, like some branches of study, especially like as I mentioned previously, like computer science and the other technical like engineering management and other fields, they have really good prospects after your degree. So chances of getting a job is very high. But there are few courses, like as I mentioned, the aerospace engineering, where you won't be able to land into a job after your masters. So if you are planning to pursue a degree in aerospace, then you need to do Ph.D. degree, otherwise it's really difficult for you to get a job. So it depends on the course which you are taking. So like whatever course you are taking, like try to speak with the students who took it previously, and like ask them about how the career prospects are for that particular course, then take a decision like before coming here. And like regarding my current university, there are career centers, there is career center here as well. So I can approach the career center and I can get feedback about my resume, and like and then I can also get suggestions about how to improve my skills, so that I can be a better candidate for their company, for the particular company. So yeah, like utilize the career center and then the career fairs organized by the university, so that you can network with lot of people, which will help you to get a career.
Right. Okay. And is it also the same, like now that you are pursuing your doctoral degree, which is the PhD from Auburn University? So after the PhD degree as well, is it the same case scenario, or maybe you can land a job very easily after your PhD? What are you expecting now?
Yeah, really, yeah. Like after PhD, it is relatively easier to get a job, especially for my branch of study, that is chemical engineering. So when I was pursuing my masters, I used to attend the career fairs, and I used to speak with recruiters in the career fair, and some of the recruiters were interested into my profile, but they wanted PhD degree holders for their job. So like I was able to assess the requirements which the employers had, but that is not the case with other branches of study, such as like computer science, data science, artificial intelligence, etc., where like it is okay if you just do your master's degree with a particular specialization, and you can easily land into a job with good profile. So that depends on like which course you are taking. And like for me, yeah, like after PhD, it is relatively easier for me to get a job of my interest. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right then, Praveen. I guess this was a very information-packed conversation between us. I asked a lot of questions, and you gave me a lot of detailed answers, which I'm sure are going to be very helpful for our viewers.